Church. The LAPD says it is stepping up patrols at local churches as a precaution after the mass shooting at a Mormon church. It happened early Sunday morning in Michigan.
Local churches. We need more security at local churches. And y'all want to talk about us, black men, as the greatest threat to this country? When these white supremacists are out here targeting churches and children. Really? Like I said before, right now, you're looking at the beginning of the end of white supremacy. All that rhetoric that they've always depended on of black Americans being the most violent and the greatest threat to this country is falling flat on its face.
Now know at least 4 people have died. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with more details.
This morning, police are investigating a deadly shooting at a Michigan church where hundreds of people were worshiping.
We have an active shooter at the church, and PD's on scene saying the building is also on fire.
During Sunday morning worship, police say the gunman drove his pickup into the front doors of the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints and opened fire with an assault rifle. Police say he then set the building on fire.
Jeez. So you crash your truck into the church. Listen, I'm not even a Christian, and I hold no hostility towards the church. He crashes his truck into the church, which could have killed someone. Someone could have got hurt. Then he opens fire at random people. Do you see the difference between this and gang shootings? These gangsters aim for a particular adult. These white supremacists go into churches and start firing at children. You're not going to give us no moral lecture. Ever. Shut your mouths. This is not funny. And this is not a one-up or a gotcha. This is very sad. And you know where I suspect much of this hostility and anger is coming from? The increased number of people in white communities being molested. This is the type of violence that you see from people who've been abused as kids. The same stupid lecture that y'all was trying to go around giving about black American men is actually true about yourselves. But I digress. Let's continue with this. Again, we stopped where she pointed out that this lunatic crashed his truck into the church, opened fire, then set the church on fire. That's demonic. That's demonic activity. That's devilish. Wow.
Police say he then set the building on fire.
I have people trapped in the building. Repeat, people trapped in the building.
The gunman, identified as 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford.
What? Oh, wait a minute. He has to be black. Let's get a closer view. No. This has to be a black man raised by a single mother. This has to be a thug. This has to be a gangster. That's the number one problem. Give me that, Donald Trump. You see, Donald Trump out here clicked up with the Charlie Kirk types of the world who go around the country spewing this nonsense that black American men are the most violent people in society. No, all of that ends now. And shout out to all the content creators. Like I said, we're roasting y'all to death. We're slow cooking y'all with the truth. Stop coming at us. You see, most of us were not aware of Charlie Kirk until after he died. And then we started to research what he was doing. And then we found out that there are other white supremacists doing the same thing. That is why so many black men are on code right now and hyper focused on white violence. We just getting started. Like I said, y'all better get up off, leave us alone. That's what you need to do. Leave us alone. Keep our names out your mouth.
Building.
The gunman, identified as 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford, was later killed during a shootout with police in the parking lot. A teacher at the church described the terrifying...
Look at that. That's not the hood. That's not the black community. That's not the ghetto. Oh, you violent black people. Yeah, stop with the racism. Stop with the projection. It is time for y'all to put an end to y'all's racist mentality. But we all know, unfortunately, that will never happen.
Moments to our ABC station WXYZ.
One of our counselors was up speaking, and we heard a big bang and the doors blew. Our church is gone. I joined the church 38 years ago in that building, and now it's gone. To see somebody would do this to my church.
This morning, multiple agencies, including the FBI and ATF, now investigating and searching his home in the nearby city of Burton. Officials also still searching through the debris from the fire, concerned about multiple people unaccounted for in the church.
Oh, what? Oh, wow. 4 dead, 8 wounded. And you still got people unaccounted for?
Working tirelessly to find additional bodies. So to answer your question, the entire church has not been cleared because it's a total loss due to the fire.
The governor of Michigan posting on social media overnight saying, quote, violence anywhere, especially in a place of worship, is unacceptable. And
no, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. When stuff like this happens and it's a black perpetrator, the narrative is something needs to be done about these black people. Oh, they're so violent. They're so criminal. You see, black men, when we reflect on stuff like this, did y'all hear that story here recently? There were some FBI agents fired for kneeling in solidarity with black people who were killed. Shout out to the good white folk. Shout out to all the good white folk. That's a perfect example when I said that whites who are not racist, truly, genuinely good-hearted white people, they have no power. They have no sway. They all got fired just because they knelt for black people. And what that does, it frightens the good white people into keeping their mouths shut when there's an injustice against black people. That's why you've always had the class of whites who turn their head and, acted as if they didn't see the lynchings, the bombings, the injustice towards blacks, because they've always known they will get attacked. They will get attacked. Remember Kyle Rittenhouse? He let loose on some white people who were trying to help black people. So they get terrorized into silence.
Adding, her heart is breaking for the community.
Now this just happened in Michigan. Yet another mass shooting in Michigan. Now this took place in Southport. There have been like back-to-back mass shootings. Back-to-back. Can't even keep up with the number of mass shootings carried out by violent, bloodthirsty white men.
Observed a boat sitting out front, which was just odd that we're sitting right there. Tonight, a business owner describes spotting a boat on the Cape Fear River just moments before a gunman opened fire into a crowd at a waterfront restaurant in Southport, North Carolina. New tonight, Governor Josh Stein will travel to Southport Monday to meet with local law enforcement and leaders in the aftermath of this weekend's deadly attack. Multiple law enforcement agencies rushed to the American Fish Company around 9:30 last night after being alerted to an active shooting. 3 people are dead tonight and 5 others are hurt. Todd Weaver describes the chaos.
I hunkered against that wall. Everybody else was running out. I called 911 as fast as I could. As soon as the bullets stopped, I was going in, seeing the boat go down the intercoastal waterway with no lights on.
Tonight, the suspect was taken into custody.
Wait a minute. Where's the black guy? Where's the black guy? We're talking about violence. We're talking about the unaliving of people, innocent people, and no black faces to blame it on? What is going on? Yeah, notice how silent the white community is. Why aren't we talking about white culture? This is white culture. Where are all the coons? Yeah, all of your stupid lectures, it's the end of that.
A short time later in Oak Island, and CBS 17's Haley Kennedy joins us now. And Haley, tell us more about the man who remains in custody this hour.
Well, this is suspect 40-year-old Nigel Edge, and he has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder. People who live in Southport say the shooting has shaken their...
But people are getting fed up with black people. Ain't that right, Anton Coonface? Coonface? Anton Daniels? Oh, people are getting tired of, black fatigue, black fatigue. It was all projection.
Small tourist town. Outside American Fish Company in Southport, the sound of bagpipes fills the air. And flowers cover the front steps as this small town mourns a Saturday night mass shooting.
Shocked that it's here. You know, you always hear about it in the bigger places and not in more of a smaller community like this, and that was very shocking.
40-year-old Nigel Edge is accused of shooting at a crowd of people at the waterfront restaurant from a boat.
We believe that this was a targeted location. We appear that he acted in what we call a lone wolf. He
wasn't no lone wolf. This is a culture. This is a part of their culture. Why do you think they keep doing it? This is white male supremacist culture. You always want to attach violent behavior to our culture. Do the same for your own. No, we're not going to do this.
Alone. This is highly premeditated from what we're seeing at this time.
Edge arrested by the Coast Guard at a public boat entrance on Oak Island right next to Raleigh.
You coward. You just shooting at a crowd of people? You lunatic.
Native Reggie Swicegood's family marina.
I can't believe that this happened in my backyard and front yard. Literally. Backyard being Southport, front yard being right there on my property, right next to it.
District Attorney John David says that the only thing these victims had in common is that they were tourists enjoying Southport and the music playing.
Ironically enough, at the very place which once served.
You know what? This stuff is so horrible that it feels wrong to point out that it's being carried out by white people and that this is a part of white culture. My point is, you hear them talking about black violence, but you never hear them talking about blacks as human beings, and you need to help these people. This is clearly the result of sick mentalities. What's producing the sick mentalities? That's what we need to get into. And no question, part of what's producing these sick mentalities is some of these people are being abused. Like I said, you up there molesting kids as a culture, you got PDF file rings and gangs and all this kind of stuff. It runs rampant through your communities. It produces violent people, violent adults. You want to look at it like that when it comes to black people. Do the same when it comes to your own.
Which once served as a backdrop to the movie Safe Haven. And that name is symbolic of the way in which the people in our community view this area.
Now locals say they're being more aware of their surroundings.
I think from now we'll have an eye on the water. You're so used to looking everywhere else and you're not used to looking there. That'll just be another thing we'll have to add.
Now Edge is expected to be in court tomorrow.
And we're not done. Another mass shooting. Minneapolis. Y'all remember this? This was very recent. Huh?
Tears and hugs, an all too familiar scene in America after yet another school shooting. Parents racing to check on their children.
CNN breaking news.
This is a reported shooting at Annunciation Church. It's just a heartbreaking day.
It happened at Annunciation Catholic School in South Minneapolis during a school mass. This was...
I know y'all remember this. What kind of lunatic attacks this demographic? You gonna attack our young? What in the world? And for them to still have the nerve to talk about and focus on black people. An obvious scapegoat. Obvious projection.
During a school mass. This was the first week of classes. The school had just posted photos of students excited to start the new school year. But that joy turned to terror as 30 to 50 shots rang out.
Active shooter inside Annunciation Church. A male wearing all black with a rifle was last seen up at the playground.
During the mass, a gunman approached on the outside on the side of the building and began firing a rifle through the church windows towards the children sitting in the pews at the mass.
Within seconds of this situation beginning, our teachers were heroes. Children were ducked down. Adults were protecting children. Older children were protecting younger children.
This 10-year-old student was there.
It was like shots fired, and then we kind of like got under the pews.
2 children were killed. 1 8, the other 10. 17 were injured. Authorities say the shooter took his own life.
Hey, y'all.
He's been identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman, who had no known criminal history. His social media pages have been taken down, but this video is believed to be from his page. It shows guns and ammunition laid out on a bed. This appears to be a hand-drawn layout of a church that Westman then stabs with a knife.
Hope you can read that.
There's what? Really? This is so deep. Psychological. What is going on in the minds? You know how they talk about black men as if to suggest there's something sinister going on in our minds. No, there's something sinister going on in y'all's minds. This is something out of a movie.
Hope you can read that.
There's also a 4-page handwritten letter to his family and friends. He writes, "I am not well. I am not right. I know this is wrong, but I can't seem to stop myself."
Now, are y'all gonna sit there and deny the strong possibility that this was another person who may have been abused as a child? Okay? Keep in mind, I want people to stay mindful of this. A big reason why they say black men are violent, They say it's because we were raised without a father. Right? And I'm pointing out that y'all may have been raised with fathers, but because so many of these fathers have been abusing their own kids, molesting their own kids, that you all are producing violent people too. And you need to focus on that. Focus on yourselves. Go around the country and give lectures, hold debates about white communities. The white community. Don't ever talk about us again. Ever. That's what y'all need to do. We, as Black Americans, we are doing a good enough job on our own. We are already addressing our issues. Y'all need to do the same. Stop focusing on us.
Sometimes these shootings take place for no reason at all, just because you have a very sick individual.
They all take place for no reason at all. What do you mean, some of them? Fix your language. Fix your language. Stop trying to soften the blow. See, this is so disturbing for them. They always try to soften the blow. It ain't some.
Shootings take place for no reason at all.
Myself.
Sometimes these shootings take place for no reason at all, just because you have a very sick individual.
His mother worked at the church.
No, you have a very sick group of people. Stop trying to individualize this behavior. This is cultural. And let me also point out that not all of these people, these sick people who are a part of this sick culture, not all of them carry out mass shootings. Some of them are just violent. Some of them just post a bunch of racist stuff nonstop on the internet. Some of them got sock puppet accounts where all they do is post black fatigue this, black fatigue that, right? These same types of people are on 4chan or on Reddit or on Stormfront talking about how big of a problem Black Americans are, black people this, black people that, always hyper-focused on us. That's where these people, they come from that community. Look at them. This dude right here is responsible for what happened in Michigan. He had a Trump sign in front of his house. These are Republicans, Trump supporters. These same racists that go on about black fatigue, black fatigue, black fatigue. Bunch of lunatics projecting. And y'all need to look into it. Stop talking about us. Yeah, stop with your little campus tours. Keep our names out your stupid mouths. Y'all up here targeting kids.
Until she retired in 2021. This video.
Man, I can't even look at this, man. Are you serious? Who targets kids? What a sick, demonic devil. We sitting back allowing these white supremacists to conjure up the most demonic energy imaginable. And y'all not even going to address it. Instead, you want to talk about absent black fathers?
21. This video of students singing was taken a few months ago during happier times. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry fought back tears.
It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace.
Look at that. That's not the south side of Chicago. What about Chicago? That's not the hood. Huh? That's not 63rd and St. Lawrence. What's going on here?
Without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance.
Yeah. Stop talking about us. Stop with your propaganda. Or if you want, you can continue doing your thing. We're going to be on y'all's next, though. We're not done. How about those 3 officers who were unalived here recently?
Shapiro, as well as Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, as well as the head of Pennsylvania Police, we believe expected to speak now. Here they are. Let's listen in about the law enforcement shooting in York.
Commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police. I'm going to address you this evening concerning a critical incident that has rocked the community here in York County this afternoon. The incident occurred in Caduras Township, York County. I'd like to preemptively say that there are many details which at this point we are not prepared to release, given the ongoing nature.
We know this, and I'm not about to sit here and listen to you babble for nearly 4 minutes. A white supremacist unalived 3 officers. Yet another violent mass shooting. How about these mass shootings, huh? How about these things? Let's take a look at them. Let's take a look at them. Let's do this. From the 2000s. Look at that. September 28th, September 27th, September 17th, August 27th, August 1st, July 28th, July 13th, July 2nd, April 17th. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Now this involved black people right here. But as I pointed out before, they label a lot of black shootings involving black people as mass shootings just because more than one person was hit. But that's not how these shootings go. They're targeting individuals or a group of people. And the people that they target is usually a bunch of shooters themselves. They're usually going after rival gang members who've also unalived someone else. Why you think so many of those cops just don't care? It's because they understand that usually these Chicago shootings involve shooters shooting shooters. Shooters shooting other shooters. Whereas the typical shooting carried out by these white supremacists is insane, sick shooters shooting toddlers, aiming for 5-year-olds. You see the difference? You see the problem there? I refuse to listen to a group of people like that compare themselves to us and then try to give us a moral lecture based on their perceived moral superiority compared to us. No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you will never. This is the page more and more black Americans are getting on. This moral superiority kick that y'all been on is about to stop. There's no way y'all can hold up against the truth. Again, always based in lies, deception. All you got to do is come through and tell the truth, and it will shut down these white supremacists. It's always been this way. They've always depended on lies, deception. This is ridiculous. And understand, most of these mass shootings were carried out by white men. The most violent demographic in this country is white men. White men are the greatest threat to the everyday citizen in this country. It is not black men. Yeah, when you see us, you may cross the street. But you cross in the street where you see some white men who are actually the most violent demographic in this country. Easily. And the fact that they target kids makes it even more sick and degenerate. This is why I say, if you want to listen to a Charlie Kirk type, if you want to say, oh no, Charlie Kirk wasn't racist, that's a coon spirit. That's a coon mentality. Because these people are worse than us. Simply put, these white supremacist males are more violent, more degenerate, are sick, far more sick than us. I am not listening to them. Give us no moral lecture about how violent and immoral black men are. And you all know that the stories will not stop. There's far more stories than I'm able to report on, than I have time to report on. So yeah, y'all had fun. I'm sure you had fun while it lasted with your black fatigue era, your Shiloh Hendrix era, your era where you felt like white supremacists are really sticking it to the blacks. Oh, we're putting them in their place. Black fatigue, black fatigue. Now it's your turn. And you're not holding up well. We took y'all's time in the sun well. Y'all not taking this too well. Because I don't hear any sound rebuttals from you white supremacists. You're actually sitting silent right now because there's nothing you can say. So here's what you need to do. Leave us alone. I'm talking about black men. That's primarily who y'all targeting. Leave us alone. Keep our names out your mouths. Focus on your own problems. Leave kids alone. Isn't it crazy? A part of their culture is to molest kids and shoot them. Molest them and shoot them. Y'all need help. Y'all are sick and you need help. Don't ever, ever try to project black men as the greatest threat to this country ever again. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. See y'all on the next live.